Picture this. You're sitting at home, scrolling through your phone, maybe bored, maybe hungry, when suddenly your stomach growls. You know exactly what you want. Not soup, not salad, not some fancy 5-course meal. You want pizza? Yeah. That steaming, cheesy, gooey slice that somehow feels like comfort and celebration at the same time. And here's the wild part, you're not alone. Right now, at this very second, somewhere in the world, someone else is lifting a slice of pizza to their mouth. Actually, not just one person, hundreds, maybe thousands. Because statistically, by the time I finish this sentence, about 700 slices of pizza will have been eaten across the globe. 700 in the blink of an eye. That's not just a snack. That's an economy. It's almost funny to think about it. Pizza is everywhere. It's at kids' birthday parties, in late-night college dorms, at family dinners, in the middle of office meetings. It's food for the broke student and for the billionaire tech mogul who just wants something simple. It doesn't care about borders, languages, or traditions. It slips past all of them, adapts to them, and somehow still feels the same wherever you eat it. It is, in a way, one of the most successful global brands in history, except it's not owned by one company, it's owned by all of us. But how did this happen? How did something so simple, just dough, tomato, and cheese, become a symbol of wealth, power, and culture? To answer that, we need to rewind not to New York or Chicago, where pizza became iconic in America, but back to Naples, Italy. In the late 1700s, close your eyes and imagine the scene. Crowded cobblestone streets, noisy marketplaces, workers rushing back from the docks. Life was hard. Jobs were scarce, wages were low, and people needed food that was cheap, filling, and fast. And on the street corners, you'd find something round and flat, baked quickly in stone ovens. It was topped with whatever was available, sometimes just garlic, oil, maybe a little tomato, and if you were lucky, a sprinkle of cheese. That was pizza. Not glamorous, not celebrated, just fuel for the poor. The wealthy hated it. They looked down at pizza as dirty food, street food, something unworthy of a plate at the dinner table. For them, dining was about formality and appearance. Pizza was the opposite. It was eaten with your hands, sometimes folded up like a sandwich, devoured on the go. It was messy, greasy, common. And yet for the workers, it was survival. A whole day's hunger could be killed by a few coins spent on a hot, fresh pizza from the street vendor. And then everything changed with a single bite. In 1889, Queen Margherita of Italy visited Naples. She was bored of French dishes, tired of the same elite menus, and she wanted to try the food of the people. A local baker decided to prepare something special for her pizza, with tomato, mozzarella, and fresh basil. Red, white, and green, the colors of the Italian flag. The Queen loved it. She ate it. And she gave pizza something it had never had before: royal approval. From that day forward, that particular style was named Pizza Margherita. Yes. And suddenly, this poor man's street food had been elevated to something more. Still humble, still simple, but now respectable. Pizza was ready to travel, and travel it did. The late 19th and early 20th centuries. Waves of Italian immigrants crossed the Atlantic, many of them carrying their traditions with them. They brought pizza to New York, to Chicago, to Boston. At first, it was still for Italians. You had to know the right neighborhoods, the right bakeries. But after World War II, everything exploded. American soldiers who had been stationed in Italy came back with a craving for the food they rediscovered overseas. They wanted pizza, and they wanted it everywhere. Pizzerias multiplied. Pizza chains were born. What was once a cheap flatbread in Naples had become an unstoppable machine in America. Think about that journey for a second. Food that started as a survival meal for the poor in the streets of Naples turned into a global empire worth over $160 billion today. All because it was cheap, it was flexible, and it was delicious. The irony is that the wealthy who once mocked it couldn't stop eating it once it crossed into their culture. Today, pizza is a dish for everyone: poor, rich, young, old, east, west. And that's why pizza is unlike almost any other food. It's not locked into one nation's identity anymore. It doesn't belong just to Italy. It belongs to the world. And here's where it gets interesting. Pizza isn't just food. It's business. It's strategy. It's innovation. It's marketing. It's the ability to adapt to cultures while still being instantly recognizable. Because no matter where you are, whether it's Brazil, Japan, or India, you don't have to explain pizza to someone. They already know. That universality is why pizza has become the billion-dollar slice. It's why it's beaten industries like Hollywood at their own game. But to understand just how powerful it is today, you need to see not just the culture, but the numbers. And trust me, the numbers will blow your mind. So let's talk numbers. Because pizza isn't just dinner anymore. It's an industry, a machine that churns out billions every year. In the United States alone, the pizza industry is worth more than $45 billion annually. That's just one country. Globally, you're looking at over $160 billion. To put that into perspective, that's bigger than the entire global music industry. Bigger than Hollywood box office revenue? Pizza makes more money than the movies we line up to see on a Friday night? Think about that. A dish made of flour, water, tomato, and cheese outturns some of the biggest entertainment empires on the planet, and it's not slowing down. Every single day in America, about 13% of the population eats pizza. That's 1 in 8 people every day choosing pizza. And when you zoom out globally, the statistics are even more mind-boggling. Every year, humans consume over 5 billion pizzas. That's not slices, that's full pies. Try to visualize that. 5 billion steaming, bubbling, cheesy wheels of dough being made, boxed, delivered, devoured. A line of pizzas that could stretch around the earth more than a dozen times. Pizza isn't just popular, it's unstoppable. But here's the fascinating thing. Pizza isn't the same everywhere. It's a master of disguise. Shapeshifts, adapts, and reinvents itself depending on the country. In New York, you get the iconic thin crust, big foldable slices you can eat while walking down the street. In Chicago, it's the opposite. Deep dish, more like a cheesy pie than a flatbread, so heavy you need a knife and fork. In Brazil, you might find chocolate pizza topped with sprinkles and strawberries. In Japan, they put mayo and squid on theirs. In India, paneer and tandoori chicken are common toppings. Pizza doesn't fight local traditions, it embraces them. It says, "Give me your flavors, your spices, your culture, and I'll make them mine." That's why it works everywhere. Because no matter who you are, pizza will adapt to you. And this adaptability is where the billion-dollar empire gets even more interesting. Because behind every slice you eat, there's a strategy. There's supply chain management, there's food science, there's aggressive marketing. Take Domino's, for example. Back in the 2000s, Domino's was struggling. Customers complained their pizza tasted like cardboard. The brand was dying. But instead of ignoring the criticism, they leaned into it. They ran ads admitting their pizza was terrible, and then they changed it. They rebuilt their recipes from scratch, invested in technology, and focused on delivery speed. Today, Domino's isn't just a pizza company. It's a tech company that happens to sell pizza. Their delivery app, their GPS tracking, their digital ordering systems, their innovations that rival Silicon Valley, and the result? Domino's is worth more than most fast food brands combined. Then there's Pizza Hut, the chain that once dominated the world. In the 1980s and 1990s, Pizza Hut was the name. Red roofs everywhere, family dinners inside the restaurants, book it programs that gave kids free pizza just for reading. They weren't just selling food. They were selling nostalgia, selling family, selling the idea that pizza could bring people together. That emotional marketing built an empire. But the real game changer came from delivery. Because pizza, maybe more than any other food, is built for the modern age. It was designed for boxes, for transport, for being eaten while watching TV. Long before food delivery apps existed, pizza was being delivered to front doors. That made it the perfect candidate for the digital revolution. When Uber Eats, DoorDash, and GrabFood started rising, pizza didn't need to adapt. It was already there. And that's why, even in economic downturns, pizza thrives. When people cut back on spending, they don't stop buying pizza. They just shift from dining out to delivery. It's affordable luxury. You might not buy a steak. You might not go to a 5-star restaurant. But you'll still spend $10 on a pizza that feeds a family. It's comfort in a box, a luxury disguised as simplicity. That's the genius of pizza. Here's the twist, though. The money isn't just in selling pizzas. It's in the entire ecosystem around it. The cheese industry, for example, is heavily driven by pizza. In the US, more than a quarter of all cheese produced is used just for pizza. Tomato farming. Same story, billions of pounds of tomatoes are grown every year specifically to make pizza sauce. Even cardboard manufacturing is boosted by pizza boxes. It's not just a food, it's an economic engine that employs millions and sustains entire industries behind the scenes. And if we zoom out even further, pizza has also created cultural wealth. Think about it. Pizza is one of the few foods that has its own memes, its own references in pop culture, entire movies and shows built around it. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles practically turned pizza into a superhero snack. Countless sitcoms and films use pizza delivery as a scene-setting device. In video games, characters eat pizza to regain health. It's more than food eats, a symbol, language, a shorthand for comfort, fun, and indulgence. So when we talk about the billion-dollar slice, we're not just talking about money in the register at Domino's or Pizza Hut. We're talking about a cultural phenomenon that spans centuries, continents, and industries. And here's the kicker. This empire wasn't built by one person or one company or one marketing genius. It was built by billions of people around the world, one slice at a time. Every time someone said, "Yeah, let's order pizza tonight," they were investing in the empire. Every birthday party, every Friday night binge watch, every college student pulling an all-nighter with a box of pizza beside them, those small moments fueled an industry that's bigger than Hollywood. And yet pizza still feels small. It feels personal. Don't think about the billions when you open a box. Think about the smell, the warmth, the cheese stretching as you pull away your slice. That's the beauty of it. That's why it works. It's a billion-dollar empire that never forgot how to feel like home. If the billion-dollar pizza industry sounds impressive today, just wait until you see where it's headed. Because the future of pizza is even stranger, bolder, and more high-tech than anything we've seen before. Pizza, believe it or not, has always been a food of innovation. It's never stayed the same. From Naples to New York, from wood-fired ovens to conveyor belts, from family-owned shops to AI-powered delivery apps, has evolved with every era. And right now, pizza is stepping into its most futuristic chapter yet. Let's start with something simple but revolutionary: robots. In California, there's a company called Stellar Pizza, created by ex-SpaceX engineers, where robots make the entire pizza from start to finish. Picture this. A truck pulls up to a college campus. Inside, robotic arms knead the dough, spread the sauce, sprinkle the cheese, and bake the pizza perfectly every time. No human hands involved. The result? A fresh hot pizza in minutes, faster and cheaper than most restaurants. And they're not the only ones. Domino's has already experimented with AI-powered kitchens, and several startups in Asia and Europe are building fully automated pizzerias. Imagine walking into a store, ordering on a screen, and watching your pizza being assembled entirely by machines behind the glass. No mistakes, no delays, no grumpy employees having a bad day. Just efficiency, precision, and consistency. Then there's delivery. If you thought pizza delivery reached its peak with apps, think again. In New Zealand, Domino's tested pizza delivery by drone. That's Ryder Pizza flying through the air, landing on your front lawn within minutes. In the US, they've even tested self-driving cars that roll up with your order. You walk outside, punch in a code, and the car's compartment opens, revealing your pizza still hot inside. The idea might sound futuristic, even gimmicky, but it solves real problems: fewer delivery drivers, faster service, lower costs. And in a world obsessed with convenience, this could be the next big leap. But it doesn't stop at robots and drones. The ingredients themselves are evolving. Scientists are experimenting with lab-grown cheese and plant-based pepperoni that taste just like the real thing. Why? Because the world is demanding sustainable options. Traditional cheese production uses enormous amounts of land, water, and cows. But imagine cheese grown in a lab, molecule by molecule, indistinguishable from dairy, but without the environmental cost. Companies are already working on it. The same goes for plant-based meats: pepperoni made from peas, mushrooms, or soy, but engineered to sizzle and taste like pork. In the future, the pizza you eat might have the exact same flavor you love today, but its carbon footprint will be close to zero. And here's where it gets even wilder: 3D printing. Yes, you heard that right. NASA has already funded experiments in 3D printed pizza for astronauts. Because let's face it, space food isn't exactly glamorous. But if you can print layers of dough, sauce, and cheese in space, suddenly astronauts can enjoy a slice of home while orbiting Earth or even on Mars. And if it works in space, why not on Earth? One day you might have a pizza printer in your kitchen, loading cartridges of dough mix, sauce, and toppings. Press a button, and in minutes, a perfectly shaped pizza comes out, ready to bake. No more delivery, no more takeout. Just push on print pizza. Now some of this sounds futuristic, maybe even like science fiction. But pizza has always lived at the intersection of tradition and technology.
Think about it.
The very idea of delivering food to your doorstep was once unthinkable. Online ordering seemed like a fantasy. And yet here we are, casually tracking our pizzas in real time on apps. Today's science fiction often becomes tomorrow's dinner. But here's the fascinating part. The future of pizza isn't just about technology. It's also about culture, because pizza is more than foodite's identity. In every country, people are redefining what pizza means to them. In South Korea, sweet potato crust is a trend. In Nigeria, jollof rice-inspired pizza exists. In Scandinavia, people put bananas on pizza. Yes, bananas. And while Italians might roll their eyes at these experiments, the truth is, this cultural remixing is what keeps pizza alive. The future of pizza will be shaped as much by local traditions as by robots or drones. We're already seeing digital culture play a role. Think about TikTok trends or recipes going viral overnight. New toppings being tested by millions of people across the world within days. Pizza is a content machine. It photographs beautifully. It melts on camera. It pulls into perfect cheese strings. And in a future where food is as much about Instagram as it is about eating, pizza is perfectly suited to thrive. But the ultimate question is this: will pizza still feel like pizza in the future? Will it still feel like that warm, cheesy comfort we've always known? Or will technology make it something else entirely? Some people fear that automation and lab-grown ingredients will strip pizza of its soul, that without human hands kneading the dough, without tradition, it becomes just another processed product. But maybe that's missing the point. Pizza has always been about adaptation. It absorbed tomatoes when they first arrived from the New World. It embraced ovens powered by gas, then electricity, then conveyor belts. It welcomed frozen pizza into grocery stores. Each time, people worried it would lose its essence. But it didn't. It survived. It grew. And it became bigger than ever. So maybe the future isn't about replacing pizza, S about pizza, finding new ways to survive? Whether it's a robot making your slice, a drone dropping it on your porch, or a printer building it layer by layer, the core stays the same. Dough, sauce, cheese, joy. That's pizza's superpower. No matter how the world changes, it adapts without losing its identity. And maybe, just maybe, that's why it's a billion-dollar empire. Not because it's the most complex food, not because it's rare or luxurious, but because it's universal. It's because it's simple, because it's endlessly flexible. The future of pizza isn't about leaving tradition behind. It's about carrying tradition into places we never imagined, into labs, into space, into digital worlds, into every corner of culture. So the next time you eat a slice, think about this. You're not just eating something from the past, you're eating a preview of the future. By now, we've seen pizza as history, culture, and even futuristic technology. But here's another angle that makes it fascinating. Pizza has power. Because behind every slice, battles are being fought not just in kitchens, but in boardrooms, in advertisements, and even in courtrooms. The story of pizza isn't just about dough and cheese. It's also about competition, strategy, and who controls the right to feed the world. Take the pizza wars of the 1980s and 1990s. In the US, Domino's and Pizza Hut were locked in a battle for supremacy. Pizza Hut had the legacy, the family-friendly dine-in experience, the iconic red roofs, the Book It program that gave kids free pizza for reading. Domino's had something different. Speed. Their infamous promise of 30 minutes or it's free was not just a slogan. It was a direct attack on Pizza Hut's slower sit-down model. Suddenly, pizza wasn't just about taste, it was about time. Domino's framed itself as the solution for busy families and late-night cravings, a pizza that could appear at your door before you even finish setting the table. This rivalry escalated into full-blown advertising wars. Pizza Hut would release commercials mocking Domino's cardboard-like crust, while Domino's fired back with jabs at Pizza Hut's outdated restaurants. Millions of dollars were spent convincing customers that one box of cheese and dough was better than the other, and customers, they ate it up literally. The war pushed both companies to innovate, improve, and expand. Domino's streamlined operations. Pizza Hut experimented with stuffed crusts and pan pizzas. Each move forced the other to respond. The competition didn't just sell pizza, it shaped the pizza we know today. But these wars weren't just about chains. They were about identity. In Chicago, deep dish fans declared war on New York thin crust lovers, each claiming their style was the real pizza. Across the ocean, Italians bristled at American toppings like pineapple and barbecue chicken, while Americans argued pizza was meant to evolve. Every time a new topping trend appeared, such as anchovies, mushrooms, or barbecue pizzas, it sparked debate. And those debates fueled the culture around pizza, keeping it in the spotlight. Beyond taste, there have also been legal battles. Believe it or not, the word pizza itself has been contested. In Europe, Neapolitan pizzolos fought for traditional specialty guaranteed status, meaning only pizzas made a certain way in Naples could be labeled authentic, Neapolitan. It wasn't just about pride, it was about protection. If you could trademark authenticity, you could charge higher prices, attract tourists, and secure global recognition. In America, meanwhile, lawsuits popped up over delivery guarantees, over advertising claims, even over who invented stuffed crust. Pizza was no longer just food. It was intellectual property, brand equity, and legal leverage. And behind all of this, let's not forget the quiet power players, the suppliers. Cheese producers, tomato growers, wheat farmers, they may not be on the billboards, but they're the backbone of the industry. When cheese prices spike, every pizzeria in the country feels it. When a bad harvest hits tomato crops, sauce recipes are rewritten. The billion-dollar empire doesn't just rest on chains, it rests on the invisible supply lines that keep the ovens burning. Some of the fiercest battles are fought not in ads, but in contracts with suppliers. Negotiations that decide whether your local pizzeria can stay in business or whether a chain can offer discounts. But perhaps the most fascinating battlefield is the human mind. Pizza marketing has always been psychological warfare. Think about it. Why do pizza boxes always show overflowing cheese pulls? Do commercials zoom in on steam rising from a slice? Because pizza sells as much through imagery as through taste. And the psychology runs deeper. Pizza is round, it's shareable, it's cut into triangles, it arrives in a square box. Every detail is engineered to signal community, abundance, and satisfaction. Even the delivery experience, hearing the knock on your door, opening the box to reveal a perfectly arranged pizza slices. It's a ritual that has been studied and perfected by marketers for decades. Then came digital warfare. Once food delivery apps exploded, pizza chains faced a new enemy: algorithms. Suddenly, it wasn't just about being the most recognizable brand. It was about who showed up first on Uber Eats, Grab Foods, or DoorDash. SEO, app placement, digital ads, and many other marketing tricks. All of it became as important as the cheese recipe. The pizza wars moved from billboards to smartphones. Chains invested millions in technology to make sure that when you searched pizza near me, they were the first result. And yet, through all these wars, pizza never lost its soul. If anything, the competition made it better. Domino's rebuilt its recipes because of the pressure. Pizza Hut doubled down on innovation. Little Caesars carved out a niche with affordability and simplicity. Local shops marketed authenticity and tradition. The battles weren't just corporate, they became part of the pizza story, fueling debates among friends, dividing households into Domino's families versus Pizza Hut families, New York lovers versus Chicago purists. These rivalries kept pizza alive in our conversations, in our cravings, in our late-night decisions. Here's the irony. While the chains fought to dominate, pizza only became more democratic. Because even as billion-dollar brands tried to monopolize the market, new local shops kept popping up. Artisan pizzerias used sourdough crusts, vegan spots making dairy-free masterpieces, food trucks slinging wood-fired pies on street corners. Instead of narrowing choices, the wars expanded them. Competition didn't crush diversity, it encouraged it. Because in the end, no one wins the pizza wars. The customers do. So when we talk about pizza as power, it's not just about who sells the most slices, it's about influence. Pizza influences what farmers grow, what machines are built, what ads look like, and what apps prioritize. It influences our debates, our identities, our rituals. It's not just a food empire, it's a battlefield where culture, business, and tradition collide. Yet somehow, despite all that complexity, when the box opens, it feels simple again. Circle of dough, some sauce, some cheese. A reminder that power, at its core, comes from people choosing, again and again, to take that first bite. By now, we've seen pizza as history, as culture, as technology, and even as power. But here, it's the last piece of the puzzle, the part that turns pizza from a billion-dollar product into something far bigger. Because if there's one thing that sets pizza apart from almost every other food, it's this. Pizza is memory. Pizza is emotion. Pizza is where business meets heart. Think about your first memory of pizza. For some, it's that childhood birthday party, the one where you and your friends tore open the box before the parents even finished setting out the plates. For others, it's a late-night college dorm, when someone scraped together crumpled bills to order a greasy pie that tasted like survival. For immigrants, pizza might have been one of the first American foods they tried, a dish that felt foreign and familiar at the same time. Pizza doesn't just fill stomachs, it stamps itself into our lives. And this isn't accidental, it's baked into the very design of pizza. Unlike a steak, which is individual, unlike sushi, which is delicate, unlike salad, which is assembled fresh each time, pizza is built to share. It's circular, it's sliced, it's equal parts. It lands in the middle of the table and says, "Here, this belongs to all of us." You don't just eat pizza, you gather around it. That's why every ad, every image, every cultural reference about pizza shows people together, laughing, reaching in. It's not just marketing, it's the truth. Pizza is one of the rare foods that is more than just its taste. It's an excuse to belong. This is why pizza shows up in so many milestones. First dates, game nights, office parties, Friday traditions, post-game celebrations. The smell of pizza is often associated with victory, relaxation, and togetherness. And because of that, it has a gravitational pull. Even when you're full, even when you've sworn off carbs for the week, if someone opens a box of hot pizza in front of you, you'll take a slice. Not because you're hungry, but because not taking one feels like stepping outside of the circle. And that circle, it keeps expanding. Pizza isn't locked to a single nation anymore, it's a global passport. In Japan, you'll find squid ink pizza. In Brazil, they put peas and corn on theirs. In India, spiced paneer and chicken tikka. In the Middle East, shawarma pizzas blend old flavors with new forms. Every culture that meets pizza reshapes it and claims a piece of it. Pizza doesn't erase identity, it absorbs it. That's why you can travel anywhere in the world and still find a version of it waiting for you. It's the closest thing food has to a universal language. And here's the fascinating twist. As global as pizza has become, it always comes back to something deeply local. The dough is kneaded by a baker in your town. The cheese comes from a farm a few hundred miles away. The toppings are chosen by a chef who grew up with a certain taste. That balanced global form, local flavor is what keeps pizza alive. It's never only international or only traditional. It's both. And in that mix, it mirrors us. Our lives, our migrations, our need for roots, and our hunger for change. But let's zoom out even further. Beyond nostalgia, beyond identity, beyond taste. Think about it. 3 basic ingredients: dough, sauce, cheese. Infinite combinations, variations, debates. Pizza is proof that you don't need complexity to create richness. You just need a foundation strong enough to hold everything else. In a way, pizza is a metaphor for creativity, for culture, for life itself. We all start with a base. What we put on top, how we slice it, who we share it with, that's where the story unfolds. It also teaches us about resilience. Pizza has survived wars, famines, depressions, economic shifts, cultural revolutions, and technological disruption. Every time someone predicted its decline when fast food exploded, When health trends rose, when delivery apps rewrote, the rules pizza adapted. It bent, but it never broke. It shrank into frozen aisles, then grew into gourmet restaurants. It lost its reputation as junk food, then reclaimed status as heritage cuisine. It's always moving. It's always evolving, always refusing to be boxed in even when it literally comes in a box. And most importantly, pizza teaches us about connection. In a world that's increasingly divided, fragmented, and digital, pizza remains defiantly physical. You can't download a slice, can't stream melted cheese, can't swipe right on a pepperoni and feel the heat in your hand. Pizza forces us back into the real world. It demands a table, a box, a shared moment. It's a food that slows us down to bring us together. So when we call it $1 billion slice, we're not just talking about money. Yes, pizza is an empire. It fuels industries and fortunes, but its true value is priceless. It's in the way a single slice can transport you back to childhood. It's in the way it bridges cultures across oceans. It's in the way it keeps friends laughing long after midnight. The $1 billion slice isn't just profit. It's the countless moments, big and small, that pizza has carved into our lives. And that's why, no matter what happens next, whether it's drones delivering pies, it's AI inventing new toppings, or 3D printers, creating pizzas and space pizza will remain more than food. It will remain a story. A story of how something so simple became so essential. A story of how dough and cheese became memory and meaning. A story of us. Because in the end, pizza isn't just eaten, pizza is story. And if you've stayed with me all the way until now, thank you, seriously. In a world of short clips and quick scrolls, giving your time to dive deep into this story means a lot. I hope that somewhere between the cheese pulls, the $1 billion numbers, and the memories we've shared, you found something worth holding on to. If you enjoyed this journey, don't let it end here. Hit that subscribe button not just because it helps the channel, but because it means we get to keep exploring stories like this together. And don't forget the bell icon, so you'll know the moment a new story drops. Drop a comment too. I'd love to hear your pizza memories, your favorite toppings, or even your wildest pizza experiments. This isn't just my story to tell, it's ours. So until next time, thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing this slice of time with me.